Hi guys, welcome back to episode 11 of the Harry and Tom SMMA podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be going over lots of things. We're going to be covering, is SMMA saturated? We're going to cover kind of the recession and the impact a recession is potentially going to have on the SMMA industry and getting clients, keeping clients. And what else was it? I know you just mentioned it, Tom.
In the first 30 days, like what you can do.
Yes.
If you're serious about starting an SMMA, what can you do?
Yeah. Cool. Let's kick it off. Which one?
Let's start. Okay, well, let's dive straight into the burning question, and that is SMMA saturated?
Yes, I'll kick this one off, mate.
Go for it.
So we get asked this question fucking loads. And the reason why people ask it is because they see fucking every man, woman, and their dog on Instagram having SMMA owner in their Instagram bio. They'll create their agency page, post it on their story, and everyone seems to have an SMMA. But what you've got to think of is how many of these people run a successful agency? How many of these people could proudly say or proudly get their clients or the past clients they've worked with on a Zoom call and publicize the job that they've done? Absolutely fucking none of them, because SMMA as an industry is completely saturated, but with dog shit SMMA owners. It's completely saturated with people who don't know what they're doing, don't know how to manage businesses, don't know how to market properly, don't know how to treat clients with respect and their money with respect. And when you look at the amount of people that run a successful agency, know what they're doing, know how to communicate in the correct way and run things in the best way, there's absolutely none of them. And the reason why I'm saying this, and I can say this with such confidence, is we see it every single day. Every single new client call that we get on, the owner says, we've been stung with another agency. We spent 10, 15, 20 grand with this agency and they didn't get us any sales, no leads. And we were basically stung by them. Yeah. What makes you different? And we meet it every single day. I don't think I've ever, with all of the clients I've worked with in the past and our current clients, I don't think I've ever come into contact with another agency who's worked with them, working with them, or trying to work with them that come close to us or any academy members that we work with or that we help. Because it just, once you know what you're doing, it sets you head and shoulders above the rest. Academy, I think every academy member that we have can say the exact same thing with the exact same confidence as we're saying, because they also know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's completely, the saturation level, it's quite extreme in SMMA, because you don't even need an SMMA, just be a person that's got access to a TikTok BM and a Facebook Meta BM, and then you're running ads, so you're an SMMA effectively. So there's so many people who are trying to show or demonstrate that they are a business, and they're not a business. They're actually fake. Yeah. So there's a huge amount of those. That running ads is quite not straightforward, but everyone can have access to running ads. It's not that you don't need to buy a particular software. You don't need to have all this infrastructure. You just got to have like a login and then you're running ads. So it's very, very easy to fake it and to start an SMMA. That does lead to huge saturation, like you've said, and the good always rise to the top. It always rises to the top. And I'm never, am I shocked or not shocked? No, I'm not shocked when I see the quality of what's out there.
No,
it gives me massive reassurances, and I'm like, fucking hell, we're doing well, because this is shit.
It makes me so, mate. Let's do a little thing. How many people do you reckon there are that claim to have an SMMA in the US and UK, or actually in the world? Just put a figure on it.
I don't know, in the millions.
Yeah, I'd say current. I don't know. I wouldn't. Let's say 5 million.
Oh, I think that easy more than that.
Yeah, okay, let's just say there's 5 million, or let's say how many people have a good agency where they've got to a point where they could actually take on a client. Because guys, what you got to remember, everyone who says they own an SMMA, not many of them really get past one client or even get a client, just because they don't invest time into people like us, or they don't invest time into YouTube videos and get to that stage.
Yeah.
So let's say like 3 million people. 3 million people have the ability to take on a client at this current point in time. Maybe more, maybe less. Let's just run with it. I've just done some quick figures online. There's 5 million businesses in the UK. There's 35 million businesses in the US, probably maybe a bit more. So I'd say the SMMA figure's a bit high then. If there's 5 million, if there's like 38 million across the US and UK, 10% of those aren't going to be SMMAs. So let's say a million. Let's say a million. So there's 38 million businesses, a million people own an SMMA, probably 200,000 people own one of significant value where they could even take on a client and get them mediocre results. That means there's, what's that, like 30 or 40 businesses split amongst all of those people who have an SMMA. That's not providing you're even remotely good at SMMA. So even if you're in the top 10%, which isn't that difficult to be in the top 10% of SMMAs, it really isn't that difficult. The amount of businesses that need your help is fucking mental.
Yeah.
Every single business needs to be on social media. Every single business, if you're at the point, needs to be running ads. Every single business, the same way 10 years ago, everyone needed a website, but not everyone did. Now, pretty much every business has a fucking website, and it's the same thing. So it's really not saturated when you look at how many good people there are in the space compared to how many businesses need your help.
Completely. When we talk about saturation, all we're talking about is the amount of people who claim to have an SMMA. It's not saturated on a business to business opportunities. There's too many of them. There's too many businesses in the UK and the US for us to even scratch the surface. There's too many. So, but what we're talking about is the level of people who are starting shitty SMMAs and claiming they're a business, and there are tons of those, but they're poor. Here's the kicker, right? Here's the interesting thing. Is you have shitty SMMAs where people haven't got clients and they're just bundling their way through and they're just going to do one ad set and one ad. But then on the flip side, there's big marketing agencies who turn over a lot, who try and do Facebook and TikTok ads and landing pages, and they're awful. So you've actually got two aspects there. Like we wanted a client in the US. She left her agency she was with, paid a ton of money for. In fact, I can think of 2 clients straight off the bat who've done this.
Me too.
And they show us what they did for the 10, 15K that they spend. And I look at it and it's like my son had done it.
Mate, I love it.
And he's 8 years old.
When we're in a sales call, when a client says, I'm thinking about working with this big agency, that's like fucking music to my fucking ears when I hear that.
Same.
Because I just think I'm just going to tear you to pieces now. Like there's no way now you've mentioned that you're going to go ahead with that agency. There's no way. There's literally no way.
Because me and you know, the communication will be shit.
Yeah.
They won't have the communication. Often these big marketing agencies, they have people working for them that have maybe got qualifications in marketing, but they have no clue about social media marketing and how to actually run effective ads and put effective landing pages together and that convert. It's staggering. Like it is so interesting seeing the quality of other people's work, especially when, and this is not shitty little SMMAs which someone started in their bedroom. This is, a business that is turning over 6 figures at least, maybe even 7. And the quality of some of these, I've not come across anyone who does any decent, like that has made me that shocked me and gone,
No.
I need to raise my game. I've not seen a single person.
And if you're listening to this and you're thinking about starting an SMA, or you've just started one, or even if you're established, if this doesn't fill you with utter confidence that you should start one, and you've got to think, guys, if it was so saturated, and Tom and I own a very successful marketing agency, why would we be telling everyone else to create one? That's creating more competition for us. If we really thought that it was this saturated and everyone's fighting over clients,
you wouldn't tell anyone.
We'd shut the fuck up. We'd be off YouTube. We'd be telling you, fucking don't do it. There's no money in SMMA. That's what we'd be saying. Yeah. But like, it's so fruitful and there's so much opportunity out there that we can do this, because we know full well that there's no fighting amongst clients. All you have to do is be good, and clients will be fighting to work with you.
You've got to learn all the time. Look at ads. If you see an ad on the street, take a picture of it on your phone as like reference for the future. You've got to absolutely learn and churn that wheel all the time. Otherwise, you will not improve. Your ad creators will never get better. Your copy will never get better. You've got to learn and from content and just getting yourself out there online to understand what is good. That not enough people do that. They just think, oh, I'll just create one and then let it run. It's poor. But
Like a
it's the
good
big agency thing that cracks. That
the
is the real kicker, because it's so surprising and interesting. And when people say, I say, how much did you pay for this then? Oh, it's like 25 grand.
yeah.
What?
People might be
Okay.
listening to this and think, oh, I'd so much rather work with a big agency in the central London that turns over 100 million a year rather than Tom and Harry. But when, for example, when you're in a restaurant and you've got a problem, who do you ask for? You ask for the manager. You don't talk to the waiter. You don't talk to the wash boy.
Yeah.
And why do you ask for the waiter? Because he's the decision maker. He's going to get things done. And
For the
why would you
manager,
not? Yeah, for the manager.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with an agency. When you're working with an agency, when you're paying them £2,500, £10,000 a month, if you're on whatever, contract or thing that you go in with, who would you rather work with? Who would you rather be speaking to? The owners of the agency or an employee of an agency that can't pull many strings, can't get much done? You're always going to go with the owners, providing that they show the same value.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
it's as simple as that. That's your biggest USP as an agency, as a startup agency. If someone's saying, "Oh, it even comes into testimonials. If you've not got loads of testimonials, but you've got a few, say, yeah, but you're going to be working with me. That's you are your biggest USP when you start your agency. It's the reason why all of the clients come to us in the early days. Now they come to us because of our brand, but and still because of us, but that's your biggest USP, and feed into it. They're going to have direct contact with you. They're going to get on calls personally with you every single day. That's such a big thing that people can push.
It's a massive one. And when we talk, going back to the original topic we're talking about, which is SMA saturation, like you have to lean on all the USPs that you offer over other people, because the benchmark is low and it is saturated with lots of poor versions. But like you say, Harry, just make sure they understand that you're dealing with you. You're going to go through the process. You're going to live and breathe it as like with your client, and tell them that you're going to treat their ad spend as if it's your own, and you're really going to work hard to get results. When people hear that, it's very, very different to other people, what they're saying. People don't have as much care for it. They just want the quick win, the quick to puff their chest out and be like, oh, I just want $1,000 a month client. I've got an SMMA now. Well, you haven't. Someone's just paid you to see if you're any good.
Yeah.
It's completely different. But yeah. Okay. Well, that leads us nicely into the first 30 days. So if those listening, you are thinking of actually doing this, like, Tom, Harry, I want to start an SMMA, in the first 30 days, what are you going to be fucking doing? Because so many people are going round and round and round and round. They have no idea. They actually are no further on day 2 as someone else would be on day 30 who's done it correctly. So first 30 days, what are you going to do, Harry?
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Day 1, what I would do, create a name, create a logo. If you want to, create a very brief website in day 1. Keyword on day 1, not day 1 to 30. Create your social pages, create your Instagram bio, create a LinkedIn page, fill your page out, populate it with nice profile picture, nice banner of your logo, explain what you do, what services you offer. So but at the end of day 1, all of that can be done in day 1. If that takes you any longer, you're procrastinating, you're not being efficient, you're just not getting it done. So you have your social pages, your web, your domain, your custom domain attached to it, an email, social pages, like I say, logo, name, etc. Day 2 to day 30 is 100% outreach for me.
And that's it.
You set up your business in one day, literally one day, but people spend months doing it. They'll try and make their website perfect for 2 months just so they can show their friend and their nan their nice marketing website to say, Nan, I've got a business, but no one gives a shit, because that's not going to make you money. That can be done in one day. No client's going to see your website until you get 10 clients anyway.
And also, some people they want to have like an Instagram for your business and stuff, and they're like, oh, what should I be posting on my work Instagram? Don't have one. Like, we don't have one for our agency because there's no point. Content is not consumed like that anymore.
Yes.
It's just not needed. Like you say, get a website, get a logo. How do I get a logo, Tom? go on Canva, and there's a whole bunch of the fuckers on there. Just
Yeah, it
pick
doesn't,
one
it
and
doesn't
change
need
the
to,
name.
yeah, it
It's
doesn't
absolutely
need,
fine.
there doesn't need to be like a big meaning behind your logo. You don't need to have a
No.
bird in there because you had a pet pigeon when you were younger. Like
And
it doesn't need to
and
be.
the other thing the other thing people spend hours doing, not hours, days and days and days and months, is picking a name for their business.
Yeah.
My
You can
God.
change it. The logo, I wish I could show you
Yeah.
the logo that I had for my first agency. There's nothing at the sort. I own a different agency now for starters. It's like, it does not matter. A client's not going to work with you because you have a nice name, a nice logo, and a nice website.
No.
They're going to work with you because what you say on the meeting.
Yeah.
100%. You don't even need an agency name. They'll work with you. They'll work with Tom. They'll work with Harry. You don't even need an agency name.
No, it could be Harry Kirk Marketing.
Yeah,
for now.
or they just work with you as a freelancer. That's what really it's what you are when you start anyway.
Yeah, completely. It's funny. You're right. Do get the day one. Just get yourself looking credible. That's all it is. Just look credible. Change your profile picture from you smoking a big fat spliff to like you in a suit. Just things like that, really.
Yeah,
and then
a big thing, mate, is like what you literally just said is what type of pages you make. So I think you need to make a personal business Facebook page, a business Instagram, but a personal brand Instagram. So I have Harry _ SMMA, you have Tom _ SMMA.
Yeah.
We don't have our company thing. So when you're doing outreach on DMs or you're doing outreach on LinkedIn, it's coming from a person. Correct. Not your response rate. If you're messaging these people from a business page, is going to be a lot lower than if you're doing it from your personal brand.
Really good tip.
They can see a face, they know who they're talking to.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. And same for LinkedIn. Yeah, like you said, get your LinkedIn looking really smart. Okay, and if you're like, well, how do I make it look smart? What should I put on there? Go on YouTube and type it in, and there'll be someone telling you what a great LinkedIn looks like. In fact, any information you actually ever need is on YouTube. Just type it in. How do I get a logo on Canva, Tom? Like I've just said in this podcast, go on YouTube and type in logos on Canva, how to create. There'll be a tutorial of some chick taking you from start to finish on how to do it. Even when you've got slight technical issues, go on YouTube and type it in and you'll get a solution to it. But get credible day one and make it from you as a person, and then get on the phone, get on Upwork, and actually phone and Upwork are enough. And drop some DMs on LinkedIn and whatever. But you just want to go to town on that. You want to be smashing out 30 to 50 a day.
Yeah. Once you've got your agency set up, and when I say set up, just everything we mentioned there, name, website, the whole shebang, everything from that point needs to be money-making tasks. And is this task going to make me money? Is spending 2 more hours on my website going to make me money? No. So don't do it. Is sending 50 messages on LinkedIn a money-making task? Is it going to book meetings that's going to get me money? Yes. So do it. That's what you got to put in your head. Every single task needs to be a money-making task. Otherwise, don't do it. That's just a rule, just from day 1 to day 172.
And the other thing people struggle with SMA is picking a niche. Like, God, people get so caught up with picking a niche. I know someone in particular who has spent 6 months trying to figure out a niche.
Yeah.
Just call like a ton of businesses. Doesn't matter. If you're really struggling for a niche, just abandon it and just ring a business. Go and pop in face to face. If you live in the UK or US and you're listening to this, go to your local, go around your local area and just pop into businesses and say, what's up? How do you do your marketing? This is what I do. And this is who I am. Like
people forget the only reason you choose a niche is to help you with your outreach, to help you get a list of, right, this is the amount of people, this is a big list of the same people that I can reach out to. That means I only need to research one style of business to understand how they work, products, etc., to get testimonials from that industry so you can leverage them against other people in that industry. That's the main reason why you need a niche. But if choosing a niche is stopping you from progressing at all, then like you say, just ditch it and try them. When you choose a niche at the beginning, you're not going to be handcuffed to that niche for the rest of your life. You can like if you're worried about choosing one, each day choose a different niche. We do it in the academy. We play niche cold call roulette. One day cold call 50 dentists. Next day cold call 50 landscapers. The next day cold call 50 clothing e-commerce brands. And at the end of 20 days, think, right, I booked 2 meetings from that niche, got a client from that niche, didn't get any response from that niche, and then that's how you choose. but just don't, as long as you don't name your business after a niche like dental marketing, which I'd really recommend against, then you're going to be fine. But just don't think too much about it. Don't overthink it. Just get on with it.
I think it's important for people to know that in SMMA, there is not a lot of longevity and sustainability in having an agency that focuses on one niche. Now, some people will comment on this now and challenge me on that, which is fine. However, in my personal view, the most successful businesses in the world are not just for one person. You know, you have to honestly get out of that thinking that I'm going to be a real estate SMMA marketing agency. Fine. But you are seriously limiting your pot. So when you've got someone a friend of a friend or friend of a family who want to come to you and go, oh, you do this for a living, don't you? Like, can I work with you? Then all of a sudden you've got a different type of client and you're called real estate marketing 101, whatever you are.
Yeah.
There's no longevity in it. You're told by people that there is, but it's not sustainable long term in my view.
And also, we've worked with clients where the clients don't want to work with us if you're working with someone else in that industry because they're competition. Especially if you're like, if you position, I've seen people position themselves as a dental marketing agency for businesses in London. Well, if you work with a dental practice in central London that you're targeting a 40 to 50 mile radius of London, they're not going to want you working with Joe down the road who owns a dental practice.
And also we've seen it where agencies have done a copy and paste job and they're using the same ads that they're running for another competitor of theirs in the same or very close area, and they're using the same ads.
That wasn't even in the same area, mate. So that proves the point even more.
Yeah. Using the same ads that they did for someone else and the same landing page. There was no identification of what that brand was.
And actually that agency got caught out because a customer had been hit with the same ad by both businesses, put it in a forum of that niche and said, how lazy are these practices using the same ad to get the same customers? And we were a client of one of them because they were working with two agencies, which we can touch on in another video why they'd work with two agencies. But they fired that agency because they were using the same marketing for multiple practices across the UK. And it was so bad for their brand. So you've got,
it's naughty. And but that is again the worry that you can fall into that trap if you're not being careful enough. But I do stand on the fact that I don't think there's any digital marketing agency that should just be focused on one niche, and that is your specialist area, because growing is going to be difficult. You might smash it, and you might really be the hot of the hot in that industry, but I think longevity, you've got far more longevity in having an agency that is dynamic with lots and lots of different lots of different businesses.
Yeah, and that's not to say, we have clients in the same industry. We have multiple clients in the same industry, like multiple times. But you just need to be careful with it and just don't stick to it too heavy. Yeah,
but but certainly I think you're right. In those first 30 days, it's all about your outreach. There's no point having any business if you haven't got any clients. So just put together your business and make yourself look credible, and then get out and fucking hit the phone and go and get some clients. Just go out and tell people what you are, how you do it, and how you can benefit their business long term. Just go out and tell as many people as possible. There's no secret to success. But the one thing I'm passionate about is you need to find clients. Otherwise, you've got nothing.
Yeah,
you need to find people who are willing to pay you, even willing just to have a conversation with you. That will be a massive learning curve for you. So in the first 30 days, go out and tell people what you do. That's it.
It's a good place to end it on, mate. I think, although my final point is, like you said, there's not a secret to success. However, there is a proven blueprint to this, guys. There is a proven blueprint to getting clients, regular clients that pay you the big money of regular retainers of $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. And once you get hold of that blueprint, or you learn that blueprint, your life does become a lot easier. So if you're wanting to get that blueprint, the blueprint that Tom and I use day in, day out to get clients, keep clients long-term and grow our agency every single month over the past 18 months, every month we've been growing because of this blueprint, because of how we deal with clients, how we get clients, our presentation, the results we get them, and all of the above. So there's a link below, digitalcultureacademy.com. Click it. There's a 20-minute video on there of everything that you need to know about the mentorship program. It's not just a course. You get access to Tom and I. You get
it's
unlimited
the mentorship more than anything else.
Yeah, it's the mentorship. It's us holding your hand to success on one-to-one calls, like everything that you need to get success. So just click it out. Click the link in the description, and give it a watch.
And drop us a message if you want any further info.
Yeah, and then if you haven't watched the last episode, there'll be a link just up there, where we discussed. Can't remember what we discussed last episode. Oh, not
getting, like, if you're not getting results for your client.
Yes, if you're struggling to get your client results, watch the last episode. And then we'll see you on Thursday.
Cool.
Cool.
Cheers, Harry.